Hello. Today I'm going to be going over the Deku B1 Skip. This allows you to get from the floor level, down here from the lower level, over to the top section of the B1 location. That way you can get to Goma without the need for a slingshot. So there's a couple things I want to go over real quick. First off is something called pause buffering. So say I'm in a situation where I want to input multiple commands at the same time, or multiple inputs. Say I want to hold down A and down at the same time to perform a backflip, and I have very little room for error. What I can do is I can go into the pause menu. I can start holding down whichever angle I need, up, down, left, right, doesn't matter which. And then once I unpause from the unpause menu, or from the unpause lag, I should say, you're going to hold down A. And as soon as Link is able to, he will immediately perform both actions, down and holding down A, to perform a backflip. Another thing that we're going to use is having the wall pop us in a specific angle. So as you can tell here, Link is kind of popping into an angle that is perpendicular against it. And all I'm doing here is I'm pressed up against the wall. All I have to be doing is facing in the general direction of the wall and leave the analog stick neutral. And whenever you target, Link will pop up against the wall in a perpendicular direction. So how we're going to do this is you want to locate this seam. You'll be running straight up and down this small wall here. And you're going to be up against the left-hand side of this seam. This is where we get our angle. And this is very important because if your angle is off even by a little bit, you will not get the jump for the B1 skip. So if you need to, take your time getting this angle. One way to confirm you have the correct angle is if you move over here to the right-hand side of the seam. You want to make sure that you're doing this while holding down the Z button. That way you keep the same angle. But once you're over here on the right-hand side, you're going to press A, and keep pressing A up until you get to this seam. If you have the correct angle, once Link gets to this seam, he will no longer move to the left. If your angle is off by a bit, he'll either kind of fidget around the seam, or he'll keep moving a bit more slowly over to the left. So once you're in this position and have this angle, you're going to do 2 backflips. You're also going to side hop to the right afterwards, and then you're going to side hop to the left. Once you're in this location, you can let go of Z and enter C up. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to take the left-hand side of this B button icon, and we want it up against this black line that's running almost up and down this root. So if you need to, take your time and get that B button right up against it. Depending on the controller that you use, this may take a little bit of time, depending on the emulator as well. So it should look something like this. They're basically right up against one another. So from here, you're going to hold down Z and then press C up again, so that you exit first person view while having the same angle. You're going to press A once, and then from here, we're going to pause, and this is where our pause buffer comes in. You're going to hold straight up, and then during the unpause lag, you're going to hold down A. And if done correctly, Link will roll forward, and then he will jump and grab the ledge. Like so. So once you get a bit more comfortable with it, you can get to this position and then just do a neutral row and then press A and up at the same time. The pause buffer really just helps you get both those inputs at the same time, since you don't have a lot of room for error. If you press A a little bit before holding forward, or if you hold forward before pressing A, Link won't get the appropriate jump. Now, say for example you're uncomfortable with using C up, or maybe you're playing on PC port, or you're using a texture pack, or using something that doesn't allow you to get that same visual cue with C up. There is a backup strat for that. And in order to kind of go over that backup strat, I want to go over a few movement. I wouldn't so much as call them like exploits, but they're more like movement quirks that you need to understand whenever you're doing the backup strat. So while you're holding down Z, if you press A, Link will do a neutral row that always goes the same distance. That neutral row changes in angle depending on what action you've done last. So say for example, I do a side hop to the left, and actually I kind of show it this way. If I do a side hop to the left and then I press A afterwards, if you notice, that neutral row kind of sent me off in like a 45-degree angle. The same thing happens if I side hop to the right. Link will go off into a different angle. Similar thing happens whenever you backflip. If you backflip and then you press A, Link almost rows completely to the side, like 90 degrees to the side. So we're going to exploit that for the backup strat. So same as before, going to come over here to the left side of the scene, and you want to target the wall so that you have the appropriate angle. Make sure you roll into the corner. That way you know that you have the appropriate angle. If not, this is your cue to go ahead and reset that angle. And sometimes it may take a few tries to get that angle. No rush. From here, you're going to perform the same setup. You're going to backflip twice, side hop right once, then side hop left. From here, you're going to do a 90-degree turn to the right, and there are two ways to do this. You could either hold very slightly to the right, such that Link starts to turn, and if you do this fast enough, before the camera has time to kind of pan to Link's back, you will always get a 90-degree right angle. And I'll do it again. That time I did it a little bit too late. But as you can see here, if I move the analog stick slightly over to the right, same thing if I do it to the left, moving slightly over to the left, Link gets that 90-degree turn. Additionally, you could do a shield turn that moves you over 90 degrees to the right. You can also do a shield turn to turn immediately backwards. So let's go ahead and set this back up again. So line yourself up into the scene with the correct angle. Backflip twice. Side hop to the right. Side hop to the left. From here, you're going to turn 90 degrees to the right, and then you're going to hold down target. From here, you're going to backflip, and then you're going to hold down, or you're just going to press A button to do a neutral row to get this angle here. From here, going to hold down shield, hold straight down, and what we're doing with shield turning, all we're simply doing here is we're letting go of shield just long enough so Link can turn his angle, and then you're pressing shield again so that Link does not move at all, like so. So from here, once you get this angle, you're going to backflip again, and we're going to press A to do a neutral row, but during the neutral row, you're going to let go of target. And what this does is it allows Link to face this direction, which more or less puts you at the same exact position, the same exact angle that you had whenever you did a C up to line yourself up to that black line. From here, the final setup is the exact same. You're going to press A to neutral row, and then if you're not comfortable with pressing both inputs at the same time, you're going to pause, hold up on the analog stick, and then during the unpause lag, hold down the A button. If done correctly, you'll get the same exact result. Link will jump up to the ledge. One little bit of advice is whenever you're doing the jump, sometimes it helps to hold up and slightly to the left, or not left, sorry, slightly to the right so that Link arcs a bit over into his jump to where you can grab the ledge a little bit closer. But yeah, hope that helps you out. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me, and good luck.